Hi everyone, welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam and this is my YouTube channel. So today's class is going to be a quick flow to strengthen the hamstrings and the glutes. So we'll just go ahead and get started. You're going to start lying down on your back. Your feet are going to come flat on the floor in line with your hips. And hands are just resting by your sides, palms facing down. We're just going to push up into bridge pose. So pressing into your feet, your hips are going to lift off the floor, and then we push even more to lift our lower back and mid back up off the floor. Really engage your abs here. So we're pulling our belly button in, trying to make a straight line from our knees all the way to our shoulders. We'll hold here for a couple more breaths. Push your hips up even higher, find an extra inch. And exhale, release back down to the mat. We're going to come up into that position one more time. So once again, pushing into the feet, curling tailbone up off the mat. And from here, we're just going to add some pulses. So I want you to imagine that you have a squishy cushion or a ball right between your knees. And we're just going to push that imaginary ball together. So we're going to squeeze and release, squeeze and release, doing this about 20 times. 5, 6, 7. While we're doing this, we're still maintaining the height of our hips, so you're still pushing into your feet, fighting for that extra inch of space. And let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release back down onto the mat. Just hug your knees in for a moment. On an exhale, lift your head up off the mat. Inhale, place your head and shoulders back down, and feet back down. We'll flip over onto our hands and knees, coming to all fours. So hands right underneath your shoulders. Knees are right underneath your hips, and we're just going to cycle through some cat and cow. So on an inhale, arching the back, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale, curving the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arching the back, looking up. Exhale, curve. 3 more times like that. Follow the pace of your own breathing on your own inhale and exhale. Last one. And we'll come to a neutral spine. We're just going to come into some bird dog. So on an inhale, you're going to reach your right arm forward and your left leg back, and then lift both of them off the mat, keeping your belly engaged. And exhale, bringing those limbs back down onto the floor. So inhale, left arm, right leg reaches up and back. And exhale, bringing them back down. Inhale, right arm, left leg, reach up. And exhale, back down. Second side, inhale, up. Belly stays firm and we're not arching back here as we exhale to come back. We want it to appear from the outside that there are no changes happening in our torso as we lift our arms and legs up off the floor. So we're maintaining a long spine, keeping the belly really nice and firm. Just activating the core here before we really get into the meat of our class. And left arm, right leg. And we'll do one more each side. So right arm, left leg, inhaling up. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. And exhale to come down. Widen your hands ever so slightly. We're just going to step the right foot forward in between the palms, coming to a low lunge here on the first side. You can bring your hands up to rest on your knee, just intensifying that stretch in the front of your left hip slightly. And just breathe. And we'll place both of the palms down on the inside of the right foot now. Lift your right toes off the mat and open them up so we're turning out that front foot. And then you can walk your hands out. If your elbows come down to the floor, that's great. If not, just walk your hands out as far as they can go and just relax forward into lizard pose here. Really opening up that hip. Again, breathing into wherever you feel this the most. And we'll walk the palms back in. Turn your toes back to face forward. Your right hand comes to the outside of that foot and we switch. So right knee goes back. Left foot steps forward in between the palms. And once again, coming up to find low lunge on the second side, sorry. We're now on the left, just stretching out the right hip. As we're here in this posture, still try to keep your belly nice and firm so we're not arching the back and letting the rib cage splay forward. We still have a little bit of engagement happening. And we'll bring both palms down on the inside of that left foot now, lifting the left toes, opening up that foot and leg. And then again, walking your hands out, bringing your elbows down to the floor if you can, relaxing into lizard pose. And we'll softly walk the palms back in. Bring your toes back to face forward before stepping your knee back, coming back to all fours. We're just gonna walk the palms forward slightly. Tuck your toes underneath you and push up and back, finding your first downward dog. As this is our first down dog of the class, you can paddle your feet. Shake your head out, yes and no. Bend and stretch your knees. Do what you need here to settle yourself into the posture. And we'll breathe here for a few more breaths. And I'm going to start my flow on the left just so you can see me better. So on an inhale, lifting your left leg up, all the way up as high as you can, and then just bending that knee, opening up your hip. And let's take some hip circles here. So circling to the outside, in towards your belly, and then extending the knee back up. Twice more like that. And on the end of your last circle, extend your leg back up to the sky. Swing that leg forward. We're coming to warrior two. So right foot becomes parallel with the short edge of your mat, and your arms circle up to come out beside you. Your shoulders and hips should be right on top of each other, square, facing the side wall. Nice deep bend in your front knee. Make sure that that knee isn't going past your ankle. We're staying at 90 degrees. Keeping that bend in your knee, we're going to come into reverse warrior. So on an exhale, bending back, bringing that left arm up overhead, feeling that nice side body stretch on the left side. Make sure you don't have too much weight in your right hand against your leg. Your body is still doing most of the work to support you. And still breathing here. And on your next inhale, come back to warrior two. And now we're going to transition into easy twist. So you're gonna bring your right palm down onto the floor, your back heel will come up off the mat, and then your left arm extends up towards the ceiling. Eyes can look either straight forward or up by your hand, whatever's more comfortable for your neck. And float that left palm back down to the floor. From here, we're going to transition into Warrior 3. So you can stand up, transfer your weight fully onto that left foot, and walk your fingertips out slightly in front of you. Then lifting your right leg up and back to your Warrior 3 position, and then gently lifting your hands so that your upper body can become parallel with the floor. So my hands are in a prayer position in front of my chest, but if you wish, you can extend them out in front of you or out to the side like an airplane. We're keeping the right hip spinning down towards the floor and keeping our core engaged, belly button pulling in towards the spine. And now on an exhale, we're going to come all the way to stand, hugging that right knee in, and then inhale, extending back to Warrior 3. Moving nice and mindfully here. Exhale, pushing all the way up to stand. You should feel your left glute and hamstring working here as we come back down to Warrior 3. Exhale, pulling up. Inhale to extend. Twice more. Exhale, up. Inhale to extend. My hands are just staying in prayer position the whole time here. Last one. Exhale. And inhale to extend. Just kidding. Now we have the last one. Pulling the knee in. You can grab the front of your shin. Pull it in close to your chest. Feel and appreciate all that work your left leg is doing to hold you up there. And we'll just come into a twist. So your right arm is going to extend out behind you. Shoulders are twisting to the right side. If you'd like to intensify this, grab a hold of your right big toe with your two-piece fingers and just extend that leg out in front of you. Woo. Balance can be a bit tricky here. I hope I'm not the only one feeling that. And we'll release the twist, keeping the knee up before we release the leg as well, back down onto the mat. You should really feel your left glute working. And we're just gonna flow all the way back to downward dog. So inhale, arms come up, palms to touch. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, palms on the mat, step or hop back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a couple breaths here. Stretching out that left leg. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg this time all the way up to the sky. And now bending at your knee, open up that hip. And let's just do some circles of the knee. So just 3 circles to really wake up and open up that hip. And on your last circle, extend that leg all the way back out and swing it forward. We're coming to Warrior 2. Spin the back heel down, arms come up and around. We're keeping our shoulders on top of our hips, knee on top of our ankle. Finding a nice deep low bend in your front knee. Feel nice and long and strong in this position here as we continue to breathe. And on your next exhale, reaching your right arm up and over to find reverse warrior. Try to maintain that deep bend in your front knee. And on your next inhale, recovering back to Warrior 2 before we transition into easy twist. So left palm down, back heel will lift, Right arm reaches all the way up. And floating that right hand back down onto the mat. Once again, coming into our warrior three. So I'm going to straighten my front leg and then walk my fingertips out. So all my weight is on my right leg. And then I lift my left leg, finding my warrior three position. So my heel is flexed, reaching out to the back wall. And then I slowly lift my hands and upper body. Try to repeat the same arm variation that you did on the first side, here on the second side. And again, on an exhale, pulling that knee in, coming all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch that left leg back. Again, exhale, all the way up to stand. Pull that knee in as far as you can. And inhale, back to warrior three. Exhale, up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, up. Inhale, extend. Let's do one more. Exhale, up. Inhale to stand, and then pulling that knee in one last time, this time grabbing a hold of it with your hands, coming into a twist. So left arm extends out behind you. And then to intensify the stretch, you'll grab a hold of your toes with your two-piece finger to extend that left leg out. Don't worry if there's a slight bend in your knee. It's more important that we keep the spine nice and long here. 2 more breaths. And first release the twist, bend the knee back in before we float the knee back down to the mat. Once again, we're going to flow back to downward dog. So inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step or hop back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale into upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Few breaths here. From this downward dog, just walk your feet towards your palms, and we're going to walk them into a bit of a wider position so they're about mat width distance apart. And then you're going to bend your knees so they're at a 90-degree angle and your torso kind of comes parallel to the floor. And then we're just going to extend our arms out to the side. So we're in this very deep bend here, keeping the spine nice and long. Really strengthening the hips. This is bear pose. You should feel very wide and strong. Feel those legs working to hold you there. We're here for 3 more breaths. And at the end of your last exhale, let's bring the hands to the mat. Straighten your knees to fold forward over those legs. And keeping your feet where they are, let's give a generous bend. And then roll up slowly through your spine to come all the way up to standing. And we'll bring our feet together, moving to the top of the mat. We're coming into eagle pose. So transferring your weight onto your left leg. You're going to take your right leg, extend it forward, bend at your left knee, and cross that right leg once or twice over your left leg. If the second wrap is not available to you, you can keep your toes resting on the floor. Otherwise, we'll come into the full variation. Inhale your arms out to the side. And then on an exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left. Again, crossing once or twice. Hanging on to your balance. Really imagine all 5 toes spreading into the floor to help support you. And on an inhale, extend your arms back out to the side. Bring them onto your hips. And we'll exhale, release the bind of our legs. And we're going to take that right foot right away. Very gently, step it all the way back into a high lunge. So let's bring our arms up overhead, right beside our ears. And then bringing your hands in a prayer position, we're going to find a twist. So bringing your right elbow on the outside of your left knee and twisting towards the side of your mat. Try to get your palms coming towards the center of your chest as best as you can. It's really fighting to find that twist. Take a couple more breaths here. And look down towards the mat to help with balance. We're just going to float that right leg back in to meet the left. So we're coming to chair pose with a twist. Trying to maintain that height, that depth of bend in our knees. Make sure your right knee isn't sneaking forward here. It's staying right in line with your left. And we'll bring our hands back to center. Hands come back overhead, holding a straight chair for a moment. Before we straighten both of our legs, bring our arms back down to the sides. We're going to do that same sequence now using our left leg. So transferring your weight all the way over onto your right foot, lifting your left leg and wrapping it once or twice. On an inhale, lift your arms up beside you. Exhale, now the left arm reaches underneath your right to bind once or twice, finding eagle pose here. And on an inhale, releasing your arms back out to the side. Hands come onto your hips as we exhale to release the bind of our legs. Our left leg right away floats all the way back, like we're stepping on a cloud, finding our high lunge here. Arms first come up overhead, and then we'll make a prayer position in front of our chest. And as we exhale, finding this twist. So left elbow on the outside of our right knee, twisting as much as we can. And bringing your eyes back down to the mat to help with balance. Softly stepping that left foot back in. Trying to maintain both the height and the twist in our upper body. And on an exhale, we'll release the twist. Come back to chair pose. Arms reaching up overhead. And from here, we're going to send the hips farther down to the floor. We're coming all the way to a seated position. So send your hips all the way back onto the mat. And we're going to find boat pose for a quick second. You can have your knees bent like me. Arms reaching in front of you or up overhead. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. Maybe try and see if you can straighten your legs, keeping your shoulders sliding down your back. Hang on to it, keeping your core engaged, and let's slowly lower down all the way back onto the mat and release. And we'll roll over to face the back of our mat. We're just going to start to close our class, and we're going to start that by coming into pigeon on the right side. So you're going to bend your right knee in. Right leg is extended out behind you. And if you find that you have a little bit of space underneath your right hip, putting a block or a thick book underneath will really help with that. So you can stay up nice and tall here in this position, or walk your hands forward and start to stretch out that hip. Really breathing into the stretch. Send some love and appreciation for all the hard work your glutes have done today. And slowly walk your hands back in. And we're gonna roll over our sit bones to turn to face the front of our mat. Once again, you might need to readjust your hips. And you're gonna keep that right knee bent, sending the sole of your foot against the inside of your left thigh. Left foot will stay flexed. We're gonna inhale to reach all the way up, get long and tall. And exhale, fold forward, grab a hold of whatever you can here. And once again, just breathe. And on your next inhale, reach your arms all the way out and up to bring you back to seated position. We're gonna bend that left leg in, grab a hold of around the sole of your foot, or if you know that your hamstrings are really tight, you can also grab a hold of your calf and your shin here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my foot, and then we're just gonna send the weight back ever so slightly to extend that left leg up. And we don't want to hunch and curve in the upper body at all. So you really want to pull on that foot and keep your chest and sternum pulling forward. So we still have a long spine, sitting up nice and tall, stretching out that hamstring. And we'll bend and release that stretch. We're now coming into pigeon on the left side, so the left knee will need to bend, right leg will extend out behind you. Again, if you need the help of a block underneath your glute, that's okay. And sitting up nice and tall on the side, and if you'd like to walk and fold forward, you can join me. We'll be here for about 10 breaths. And slowly start to walk your hands back in, lifting up. Again, rolling over your sit bones to face the back of your mat. Readjusting your hips if you need. Bending your foot, your left foot, so it comes into your inner right thigh. Right foot stays flexed as we inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, grabbing a hold of whatever you can. And just breathing. And slowly, we're going to reach our arms forward and inhaling to come all the way up. Bringing your hands back down onto the mat. Bending into your right knee. Once again, grabbing hold of your foot or your shin here. And this leg might be tighter, so you might need to hold somewhere different, which is totally okay. We're coming into our extension again, trying not to fold or curve into the upper body at all. Staying up nice and tall. Breathing into the stretch. Again, remembering that one side may be a lot tighter than the other. Might be an entirely different experience, which is okay. And we'll bend into that knee and release the posture. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together now. at whatever distance from your hips is most comfortable to you. Grabbing a hold of your ankles, sitting right on top of your sit bones, finding a nice tall, long spine. On an inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're gonna curve the spine forward and just let the weight of the head pull you over into the stretch. And again, just breathing into wherever you feel this most, in the hips, or perhaps in the upper spine. And we'll slowly roll up through the spine so your head will be the last thing to recover out of this stretch. And from here, we'll stretch out our legs and come all the way down to the mat into Shavasana. Our final resting pose so we can fully integrate all of that amazing work our lower body just did for us. Since this is a shorter class, we'll only be here for about a minute or so. But even though it's short, still try to fully relax, bring focus and awareness into your breath, and just melt all the tension away. Slowly start to wake back up, wiggling your fingers and toes, head rolling from side to side. And when you're ready, we'll roll to our right side, come all the way up into a seated position, and keep your eyes closed. We'll just right away bring our hands into prayer position in front of our hearts. And all together, let's take one cleansing breath. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Let's do one more like that. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. And namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for doing this yoga practice with me for glutes and hamstrings. I hope you're feeling it just as much as I am. I might be a little bit sore tomorrow. Leave me a comment in the comment section below if you are feeling sore tomorrow. If you liked this video, please hit like. If you really liked it, please subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. It really, really does help in supporting free yoga on the internet. Also, a fun thing that just launched is our new shop. So SKR Yoga and Wellness now has a store that you can check out. The link is down below. You'll find lots of great stuff there that can help you to continue your health and wellness journey. So that's all for today. Thank you guys so much once again. Have a nice day.